Boston's best covers the best. Live coverage of assaults in the series.
Imagine surviving this. A fiery plane crash kills doctors, but somehow 2 people walked away.
I just didn't believe it was happening. I had to get out of there.
Amazing to me that my father was able to get out of that.
Christopher Reeve's wife breaks her silence.
When he died, a light went out in my life.
She's wearing his wedding ring around her neck. Actress Tracey Gold goes to court and faces the judge on a drunk driving charge.
Was this a little frightening, though, today?
And for the first time, hear the just-released 911 calls from the accident scene.
Yes, we had a major emergency with children. There's babies here.
Then, Fox TV hires a famous private investigator to get information on Bill O'Reilly's accuser.
When you go after somebody like this, you become pretty fair game.
Inside Edition Weekend.
A miracle in the woods.
After a fiery plane crash, 2 passengers crawl out of the wreckage. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Boyd.
And I'm Trish Bergen with a truly amazing survival story. A commuter plane carrying doctors to a conference crashes in the woods, killing 13 of the passengers.
But incredibly, 2 managed to get out alive. Now Dr. John Krogh tells how he did it from an interview in his hospital bed. Les Trent has the story.
And as we bounced along through the trees, people started screaming badly. Some terrible screams.
That's the voice of Dr. John Krogh, who was found by rescue workers alive amid this blazing wreckage after a horrific commuter plane crash in Missouri.
It was just a crashing sound, which didn't really shock the plane too much. I'm sure that was the wing hitting a tree.
The 69-year-old doctor and his assistant, Wendy Bonham, were the only survivors. 13 people, most of them medical professionals traveling from St. Louis to a seminar in Missouri, were killed. This is the inside of an identical plane. Dr. Krogh and his assistant switched seats and were next to the emergency exit. The door blew off on impact, saving their lives. He talked by phone from his hospital bed.
And some of them may have been alive. In fact, there were some screams as I later got out of the plane. There were some screams of some people in there as they were dying.
The plane was attempting to land in bad weather at an airport not equipped for instrument-only landings. Dr. Krogh is an anatomy instructor from Wallsburg, Utah. He and his wife, Karen, have 6 adult children and 25 grandchildren.
Amazing to me that my father was able to get out of that, and Wendy to get out of that.
Dr. Krogh's daughter, McKay, and her family saw part of the fiery drama unfold on TV. She said among the dead is a family friend who is a father of 7.
Of course, it's a wonderful blessing, but bittersweet, I suppose, just because I know, other people who don't have that blessing right now.
Dr. Krogh suffered a shattered hip and broken vertebrae.
And I knew there's no way with a broken hip that I could do anything but just pull myself out, let myself fall to the ground 8 feet below.
I feel like it's been a miracle in our behalf.
Karen Krogh talked to her husband by phone about his escape. She planned to fly to his side Thursday.
I'll tell him I love him, and let's don't do this again.
It's still too early to know exactly what caused the crash.
This is Tracey Gold after her arrest for drunk driving, posing for a mugshot. The Growing Pains star was in court where she pled not guilty to felony charges in the accident that left her 7-year-old son with a broken collarbone. And Stacey Galandi was there.
Growing Pains star Tracey Gold looks somber as she arrived with her father at a California court to be arraigned on felony drunk driving and other charges.
She's doing fine. Thank you very much.
Tracey waited nervously inside the courtroom and whispered often to her father, who sat next to her in the front row. Her attorney entered a plea of not guilty on her behalf. Tracey was then ordered to abstain from alcohol and to return to court in a month. Tracey was arrested last month after her SUV somersaulted on a highway off-ramp. Her husband and 3 children were inside the vehicle. Hard to believe this mugshot of Tracey with bloodshot eyes after her arrest is the same actress seen by millions in the Growing Pains reunion movie. After the hearing, Tracey stood with her attorney, Blair Burke.
Was this a little frightening, though, today?
It's court scary. Court scary for any citizen.
you know, to have the power of the state to accuse you. It's a very awesome thing.
This chilling 911 call by a witness was released for the first time.
9 emergency, what are you reporting? Yes, we have a major emergency on the off-ramp of Princeton Avenue.
Eastbound, okay, take a deep breath. Eastbound 118 on the Princeton off-ramp, the van?
Yes, and there's children, there's babies here.
All right, are people injured?
Yes, definitely, major.
Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt.
It's something that is very scary, and it's miraculous that no one was killed in a situation like this.
Tracey was pregnant in real life when she shot this Growing Pains reunion special, which aired on ABC this past weekend. But it's this disturbing shot of Tracey that fans are likely to remember for a long time.
It's been less than 2 weeks since Christopher Reeve's death, and although she is still grieving, his widow is making public appearances now to support causes near and dear to the Superman star. Kim Dean has details.
Please welcome Dana Reeve.
Days after her husband's death, Christopher Reeve's widow, Dana Reeve, is back in the public eye.
I've been trying to help the children start to piece together a life without their dad.
Reeve says the appearance Thursday with Democratic presidential candidate John Kerry in Columbus, Ohio, was not the campaign's idea.
Thank you, Senator Kerry, for inviting me here today. It was actually not their idea, it was mine. And actually, I think it was Chris's. It came to me in a whole thought.
Reeve keeps a precious reminder of her husband close to her heart.
Chris's heart was as big as the ring on his finger, which I now am wearing around his neck, my neck. It's an enormous ring, you can see.
Reeve spoke emotionally about her support for Kerry's plan to increase federal funding for embryonic stem cell research.
I am here today because John Kerry, like Christopher Reeve, believes in keeping our hope alive.
Reeve actually made her first public appearance since her husband's death on Wednesday night. Along with all of Reeve's children, she accepted a $25,000 donation to the Christopher Reeve Paralysis Foundation from cable's A&E channel. The donation came in conjunction with the premiere of the last movie Reeve directed, The Brooke Ellison Story, airing on A&E. In Reeve's absence, his wife Dana is carrying on the work they did together.
Although our family feels Chris's loss so keenly right now, today is the right moment to transform our grief into hope.
Now, the O'Reilly scandal. We've got an interview with a private investigator who's been hired to look into the background of the woman claiming that she was sexually harassed by talk show host Bill O'Reilly. Here's Les Trent.
Her history's fair game, and the fact of the matter is this is about extortion.
Prominent New York investigator Bo Dietl has confirmed that he was hired by Bill O'Reilly's attorneys to dig up information on Andrea Macris, the woman accusing him of sexual harassment.
I am not after anybody. All I'm trying to do is find the truth in this thing. And as far as hounding, I never met the person. I don't know who she is.
Bo Dietl says he's looking for anything that could benefit Bill O'Reilly if this case ultimately goes to court.
You're looking for dirt on Andrea Macris.
I'm not looking for dirt. I'm looking for the truth. I'm looking for information.
Is her sexual history fair game?
I think anything that we uncover as the truth, that will be for the attorneys. All I do is my job is investigate.
There's also a report in the New York Daily News that Macris turned down a $2 million settlement. But both O'Reilly and Macris' attorneys deny such an offer was made. O'Reilly has sued Macris for extortion, and on ABC's Good Morning America, O'Reilly's attorney Ronald Green talked about what he thinks Macris' motive is.
Andrea Macris was a financially challenged woman, maybe financially desperate, when she told co-workers she intended to bring down Bill O'Reilly and Fox, get $1 million from them, and buy the apartment in New York City that she always wanted and couldn't afford.
O'Reilly's attorneys also have alleged that Macris had written a tell-all book that aimed to destroy the talk show host and Fox News. But Court TV's Lisa Bloom has seen a manuscript written by Macris.
The manuscript that I saw, it's not a tell-all piece about Bill O'Reilly or about Fox News. It's not even a nonfiction book. It's a work of fiction about a young single woman making it on her own in the city, very Bridget Jones' diary.
Bloom talked about where Macris stands emotionally right now.
I've spoken to sources close to the accuser, Andrea Macris, and she's strong, she's rattled, she's nervous. This is very difficult for her, but she's persistent and she's determined to see this through.
Well, O'Reilly's attorney says that this case is really about money.
The 55-year-old talk show host has been married for 8 years. He and his wife have 2 children.
Next, Extraordinary new security for John Travolta and Kelly Preston. Mysterious threats come in, and they're surrounded by security guards.
They were taking the threat that they received, which was directed against him, serious.
Airport pat-downs, but are women really getting groped?
It was like getting a breast exam.
Why are so many women saying their pat-downs are like breast exams?
I was being surrounded by these men.
Plus, the sinking horse. She's up to her head in mud.
And I screamed in my loudest voice, "Help, call 911.
See how they got the pretty Palomino out.
Yes!
Inside Edition Weekend, we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Bach Collision Center, New England's largest, most state-of-the-art, environmentally friendly body shop. We can repair anything, from a major accident to a small dent or scratch. Open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, ready to handle any body shop request. Bach Collision Center on the Auto Mile, Route 1 Norwood. My name is Ernie Bach Jr. Come on down.
On 3-2. Inning is over. Veritech holds on. And Wakefield, through all of that, pitches a scoreless 13th inning.
Hi, I'm Tim Wakefield. Please make sure we have no violence or craziness on our streets. We know you have faith in us, and we have faith in you. Let's enjoy this together. Keep the faith, keep the peace.
A hitman and the woman he tried to kill, face to face, right here, next to Oprah.
Today at 4 on Channel 5.
News Center 5 is leading the way.
We are the first station in Boston to offer Spanish captioning.
It's local.
Police are investigating 2 smash-and-grab robberies at local Dunkin' Donut shops.
It's live.
That rain's starting to show up on radar. We now go to Doppler Net, and you'll be able to see how wide the rain area is.
It's coverage you can count on.
Massachusetts continues to struggle with the national flu shot shortage.
News Center 5.
Reporting live at Fenway, live from Marshfield in Boston.
Leading the way in local live news coverage you can count on. ABC is hot. On fire.
Did you see that?
With Boston's best new shows.
Wonderful evening.
The network that seemed lost forever is now must-see ABC. Stay tuned to ABC Channel 5.
A security scare for John Travolta. Eagle-eyed spectators noticed an unusual number of bodyguards at his last few public events. Now we're finding out why. As Jim O'Reilly reports, the actor has been threatened.
When John Travolta and his wife Kelly Preston did the red carpet at last week's Hollywood Film Festival Awards, it seemed like business as usual. But Inside Edition has learned that there was a big drama behind the scenes. Travolta beefed up his personal security after receiving a threat. While we don't know who allegedly threatened Travolta, we were told the person has allegedly threatened at least one other celebrity. At the awards, Travolta brought in bomb-sniffing dogs and was surrounded by as many as 20 private security guards, in addition to the 15 provided by event organizers. Why the security blanket? I asked security consultant Lou Palumbo, who organized the security for the movie awards.
Conversations we had, and subsequently the number of people that they showed up with, indicated that they were taking the threat that they received, which was directed against him, serious.
And Inside Edition's cameras saw the extra-tight security at the recent premiere of his new film, A Love Song for Bobby Long. Before Travolta and Preston arrived, guards reportedly asked guests to remove all pens from their pockets. Security guards like this one in a trench coat prevented anyone from getting too close to the Travoltas. After that premiere, the cast came here across the street to the Hollywood Athletic Club for the after party, and security reportedly got even tighter, with guards searching men's wallets.
What does that say to you? That the protectee has great concern, and that he might be more fearful than usual that there's a legitimacy to the threat that they've received.
And at last month's premiere of Ladder 49, the Travoltas were surrounded by at least a half a dozen guards, including this beefy guard who is nearly 7 feet tall. Still, Travolta dove into the crowd and signed autographs and posed for pictures for the paparazzi. Inside Edition contacted Travolta's publicist, who declined to comment about this alleged threat.
Now, complaints about overzealous security at the airport. An increasing number of women are unhappy with the way pat-down searches are being conducted. As Kim Dean reports, they feel violated.
I was being surrounded by these men, and it was clearly something chaotic.
I probably held my breath a couple times because I felt my heart racing more.
It was like getting a breast exam.
These women all say they were inappropriately touched and that it happened at an airport. All were pulled aside for additional screening, but what's upset them is the security pat-down they say goes too far.
She asked me to spread my legs wider.
36-year-old Ava Kingsford, along with her baby and fiancé, were trying to head home from Denver International Airport when she says she was singled out for an overly intrusive security screening.
She said, "I'm going to feel your breasts." And I said, "I'm not comfortable with that."
Kingsford says when she protested, security personnel surrounded her.
It was shouting, it was madness, and I was just crying and trembling, and I agreed to do whatever they needed me to do.
But Kingsford says she still wasn't allowed to board her flight, so nearly paralyzed by shame, she opted to drive 2 days to her home in San Diego rather than submit to another pat-down.
Violated, yes, but I was so humiliated.
48-year-old Belinda Bullard works for the FAA. Last month, she was catching a flight at Philadelphia's International Airport when her underwire bra set up a Transportation Security Administration agent's magnetic wand.
She put the wand down and she said, "Now I have to do an upper torso pat."
But Belinda says she wasn't ready for what happened next.
I was standing like this, and then she took her hands and started at my collarbone and was using this kneading motion. And by the time I had walked to the gate, I was actually sobbing.
She wasn't exactly gentle.
Cheryl White was flying to Virginia when she says she, too, was inappropriately touched by a TSA agent.
She drops the wand, and she takes her hands and she pats here, and then she pats here.
What angers this mother the most is that the TSA agent didn't explain the pat-down.
You don't tell me what's going to happen, and then you leave me feeling violated and humiliated. That's horrible.
We went to the TSA for an explanation of their pat-down policy. Communications Director Mark Hatfield Jr. spoke to us via satellite.
How have you responded to women who felt that they were being molested by these screeners?
In each case that we receive a comment or a complaint, we want to make very clear to passengers that their feelings are important and that what we're doing on security front is also very important.
Tom Pateri is a personal safety expert in New Jersey. He substituted a man for a woman to show what he described as an appropriate pat-down method, employing the blade of the hand when patting down the breast area.
There should never be direct penetration.
A sentiment shared by the other women who believe the TSA should find a better way of balancing security with a woman's dignity and rights.
I'm all for keeping travelers safe, but there's got to be a limit.
It scares me to think about going through that again.
At 16 years old, he tips the scale at more than 400 pounds. Doctors think gastric bypass surgery might be able to help him. One problem, though, insurance won't cover the cost. Now the family got a very special offer. Kim Dean reports.
He's 6'2", 420 pounds, and just 16 years old. Brandon Bennett says he's tried everything to lose weight, going on his first diet when he was just 4 years old. Through the years, this teen's health was starting to fail.
I have severe sleep apnea. That is where I stop breathing when I go to sleep. I have hypertension, which is high blood pressure, and an elevated heart rate.
Brandon felt his only hope for a normal life was getting gastric bypass surgery. But just days before he was supposed to go under the knife, the hospital canceled the surgery, saying his insurance wouldn't cover it. Brandon's parents say he was discouraged, but wouldn't give up hope.
I told him I was going to try to do anything I could to make it work, and I would. I'll work 4 jobs, I'll mortgage the home, I'll do whatever I have to do to help him.
A growing number of obese teens are asking for gastric bypass surgery. It's a controversial subject, so doctors developed strict guidelines to determine which teens would be good candidates for the procedure. Doctors measured Brandon's height, weight, and his growing health problems. They decided, indeed, Brandon would benefit from the surgery. But how could they possibly pay for it? Well, the obesity surgery specialist in Houston offered to do it for free.
I mean, how do you express somebody doing that for your son?
If the surgery is successful, Brandon will slim down to less than half his body weight, and he'll be able to live the life he's always dreamed of.
The teenager is scheduled for surgery on Thursday.
And the teen says that he is looking forward to going to an amusement park. He's too big for rides just now.
Still to come, caught on tape, firefighters on a daring rescue.
Carrots and apples.
A horse in trouble, deep trouble. How Jackie was saved. Plus, 2 weeks after Christopher Reeve's death, a new Superman gets ready to fly. Production assistance for Inside Edition provided by...
She's over 50 years old, and she never takes off her makeup with soap and water.
I use Albaline.
Removes makeup better, holds in moisture. Albaline, the makeup comes off, the moisture stays in.
Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition weekend to come.
We transport over 60,000 patients a year to Boston area hospitals. And many of them will need emergency blood transfusions to survive.
We have to collect 2,500 pints of blood every day just to meet the basic needs of patients across New England. We need your help. We need blood donors.
When you donate blood, you save lives. Every day, as a first responder, I see the faces of people who depend upon the generosity of strangers, people just like you and me.
50% of us will need a blood transfusion in our lifetime. The American Red Cross has blood drives across New England every day in communities where you live and work. It takes a little over an hour of your time, and it really does make a difference.
The need is real. The need is now. Please become a blood donor. A safe and sufficient blood supply is everyone's responsibility.
Please call the American Red Cross at 1-800-GIVE-LIFE. Patients are counting on you. Together, we can save a life.
It's a great heritage to be an Italian, something to be extremely proud of. Italy has given the world for centuries the most extraordinary paintings, art, music, architecture, engineering. It's the love of life that's extraordinary. It's the love of family. It's the love of relationship. It's just love on a great, big, wonderful scale.
Live it, love it, celebrate it.
Toxic mold. It's making these homeowners sick.
Bloody noses, ear infections, too.
Protect yourself on the next Jane Pauley Show.
This morning at 9 on Channel 5.
So, you're a loyal lottery player.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Did you know that Channel 5 is the place to find out if you won?
I guess I do now.
So, you play a lot.
Well, I'm not waiting for a rich guy. I'd much rather be the rich girl.
Sounds like you should watch the lottery drawings on 5.
Yeah, like I want to know the very exact moment when I can start my new rich life.
Just remember us, little people.
No problem.
The lottery live on 5. Watch your numbers come up on Channel 5 every night.
So, you have a lot of numbers in your life?
Pins, passwords, credit cards, millions.
How about your lottery numbers?
Just have to remember 1, 5.
As in Channel 5?
Yeah, just sit back, relax, and let the numbers fall where they may.
The Numbers Game. Tonight at 7:57, watch your numbers come up on the lottery live on 5.
Well, firefighters are trained to make all kinds of rescues, but wait until you see this one. Here's Jim Moray.
It's a race against time as animal rescuers try to save a 17-year-old Palomino mare named Jackie. She was trapped in a bamboo thicket so deep only her head was visible, and she was sinking fast in the soft, wet ground of the riverbed underneath. Her owner, Lori Gunter, was panic-stricken.
I thought this might be the end.
Lori was riding her horse on this rural trail in Norco, California, about 70 miles from Los Angeles, when the horse tripped and fell into a ditch. Lori screamed to a woman in this nearby house to call 911. Listen closely. You can hear Lori's screams.
911. There's a lady with a horse, and the horse, I think, is stuck out back there, and she's calling for help now. I'm with 911 on the phone now for you.
Firefighters and an animal rescue team quickly arrived. They gave her an apple to distract her until they could put a rope around her and then pull her from her Palomino prison. Lori says she's just happy to be back in the saddle again with her horse, Jackie.
There's room in the budget for a lot more carrots and apples. I'll make sure of that.
What a rescue. Up next, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's the new Superman.
Find out who he is after this.
Production assistance for Inside Edition provided by...
Kaboom Attack stains other cleaners just can't reach. Its unique thick liquid formula coats above and below the waterline.
Kaboom! Tough on grime. Easy on you.
Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition weekend to come.
Breakfast in bed is a special treat. Lunch in bed is just plain lazy. That's so true.
What's the hot new thing in activewear? The Ultra Strength Bengay Pain Relieving Patch. Everyone's wearing it to get powerful deep heating relief, and it lasts up to 8 hours. Try the new Ultra Strength Bengay Pain Relieving Patch. It's what's hot in pain relief.
To hold just about anything, use the bag with a revolutionary new diamond texture that stretches to prevent rips and tears. New Glad ForceFlex trash bags. You can fill them, stuff them, and stretch them. New Glad ForceFlex trash bags. For stretchable strength, get Glad.
9 a.m. I trust everyone's had their morning fiber. Hey, that doesn't look very fiberful. I'll trade you some great tasting fiber for your chopper. Just kidding. My advice, never eat fiber bigger than your head. This is what you want, my friend. Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats. Sweet, crunchy, just the way you like it. And one serving, almost 25% of the fiber you need in a day. So, what do you think? Fiber.
Fiber.
Fiber. Give me high fiber. Hey.
A new Superman is headed to the big screen.
We're going to tell you who it is next.
Introducing Subaru's all-new 2005 Legacy GT, sedan, and wagon. Powered by a 250-horsepower turbocharged engine with symmetrical all-wheel drive. Named Car of the Year in Japan. The all-new redesigned 2005 Subaru Legacy GT, sedan, and wagon.
A hitman and the woman he tried to kill, face to face, right here, next Oprah.
Today at 4 on Channel 5.
Healthcare in crisis, skyrocketing prices, millions uninsured. The presidential candidates promise change, but will either of their plans work? I'm Natalie Jacobson. We'll hear from all sides of the debate, from the insurance and drug companies to doctors on the front lines to you, the patients and voters looking for answers. A New England town meeting, your health, your vote, Monday at 7 on Channel 5.
Next Inside Edition, secrets of the Desperate Housewives stars. She was a beauty queen. She was a professional cheerleader. What you don't know about the stars of the hottest new show on television. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Finally, Diane McInerney introduces you to the new Man of Steel.
Okay, what's going on here? That is my outfit.
Looks like this cowboy's going from playing the Man in Black on Will and Grace to the Man of Steel at the movies. Christopher Reeve lookalike Brandon James Routh, seen here in an apparent Halloween photo last year, may well succeed the late, great Reeve. Tuesday's New York Post quotes sources as saying the role in a new movie remake has gone to this little-known actor who once had a role in the soap One Life to Live.
That's Inside Edition Weekend. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.